Would you please introduce yourself, please?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Poagony, Residents Alliance, and HCA for organizing tonight's candidates forum to inform voters and allowing me the opportunity to speak before you. My name is Kenneth Chu, and I'm running for New York State Assembly District 40, representing Flushing and Murray Hill. I was born and raised in a typical immigrant working class Chinese family. My father was a chef, and my mother worked in a factory. At a young age, I saw firsthand the hardship and discrimination my family endured. I am running because I want to speak up for the people, for their voices to be heard, and to uphold the American dream, a place where it is safe, where there's opportunity, and where we are treated equally. Shall I pause to allow my translator to translate?
You have 5 minutes altogether between you and your interpreter, however way you see fit, and the clock is running for you.
大家晚上好，感谢纽约小房东、纽约市居民联盟和美国酒店华裔协会组织本次纽约州参议员初选政见会，并让我有机会在您面前发言。我的名字叫赵静安 ，Kenneth Chu。我正在竞选纽约州40选区的州议会。40选区代表是法拉盛、Flushing、莫里萨、Morris Hill。我出生在一个典型的移民工人阶级的家庭。我的父亲是一名厨师，我的母亲在一个工厂工作。在我很小的时候，我就亲眼目睹了我的家人所遭受的苦难和歧视。我竞选的原因是因为我想为人民发声，让他们的声音被听到和重视，而维护大家的美国梦，建立一个安全、有机会、平等的对待的社区。
I didn't choose politics. Politics chose me. Superstorm Sandy devastated New York. Little did I know what originally thought to be just a 6-month affair would turn into 10 years in government and advocacy. I have been working in and with the community for 17 years. During my work in the Assembly, in the Senate, and in the City Council, as well as working closely with the community, I have come to learn about the needs of the community who are voiceless and powerless. I have stood at the forefront leading the fight to keep the SHSAT, saving the laundromat industry, fighting for homeowners and small businesses. I believe good policies are not made in the ivory towers, away from the realities of the people. Good policies are made with input from the people.
我从来没有选择政治，但是政治却选择了我。2012年的秋天，超级风暴Sandy席卷了纽约。我几乎没有想到，原本只是6个月的社区服务，会转眼间演变成10年的政府社区的工作和宣传。我已经在纽约的社区中辛勤工作了17年，在议会、参议会和市议会的工作期间，我与社区紧密合作。我开始深深地了解社区的真正需求。当我们的社区最无助的时候，我永远是站在斗争的最前线，领导和保卫了特殊高中 SHSAT 的斗争，拯救了自助洗衣店行业面临的前所未有的危机，为房屋和小企业而奋斗而战斗。我相信好的政策不是在象牙塔里制定的，也不是远离人民的现实。深入人心的政策是在社区的人民的参与下制定的。
If elected to the State Assembly, my priorities will be public safety, to provide permanent affordable housing and effective assistance for the homeless, fight for and maintaining a high quality education because our children are our future. Establish advisory councils to ensure the community and stakeholders have a seat at the table. I appreciate this opportunity, and again, thank you for having me here.
如果有幸可以当选，我的优先事项是：第一，公共安全；第二，为无家可归者提供永久性的保障性的住房和有效帮助； 第三，争取和维护高质量的教育，因为我们的孩子是我们的未来。第四，建立咨询委员会，以确保社区利益相关者在谈判桌前有一席之地。我很感谢这个机会，并再次感谢你让我们来到这里。
Okay. So right now we will be in the 5 minutes long questions. And the first question is, what are your plan to make New York safer? 你如何令纽约更安全？谢谢 Thank you.
First off, reducing crime is vital to prosperity and recovery. We need to enforce the laws on the books. We need to add foot patrol on the streets and in the subway, erect partial barriers on subway platforms and add security cameras, fund and train neighborhood watch and patrols, work with businesses and the community to create safe zones, allocate funds to establish an anti-hate incidents reporting hotline that is staffed with culturally sensitive and bilingual personnel. Finally, we need to reform the bail reform. Right now, we don't have the data centralized to analyze crimes or real programs to reform criminals because when the state enacted the bail reform, they never put money into it. That being said, the Chinatown attack and the subway shoving, we do know that both attackers have been arrested many times. They should never even be released as they are a danger to the public. Repeat offenders should absolutely be held in detention.
在公共安全上，我们希望扩大纽约警察局步行和地铁的巡逻，资助和培训邻里的巡逻，增加安全摄像头，创建安全区，在地铁站上设置部分障碍，改革现有的保释法，使暴力犯罪的人可以远离街头。
I think that's it.
The second question is, how do you plan to resolve the lengthiness in housing courts where many cases last more than 18 months? 您如何解决房屋法庭久悬不决的情况？很多案件在18个月内都没有办法解决。谢谢 Thank you.
In my time working for the state and for the city, the issue of long waits at the housing court has been an issue pre-COVID and has only worsened due to the rent moratorium. What the city should do, and I will advocate for, is to have more judges and to expand the court system to reduce and speed up the court caseloads. No one, tenants, property owners, building owners should ever have to wait that long for their cases to be heard and resolved.
我们希望就是有更多的法院和法官能够延长，并且能够加快所有案件的审理。今天不管是你是一个房屋的屋主，还是一个租客，所有人都不应该等这么长的时间来解决现在房屋法庭全久不决的这种情况。
The question will be, would you please give us 2 main proposals for Rikers Island? Do you prefer redistribution or renovation? What would be your ideal solution, please? Thank you. Rikers Island 的2个主要提案，重新分配和修建，你理想的解决方案是什么？谢谢 Thank you.
That's easy. That would be restoration. I'm totally against building community detention centers anywhere. With community partners, we were the first group to protest and rally against the city's proposal to build 4 community detention centers. During my time working in the Senate, I actually had the opportunity to tour Rikers Island. The conditions there is absolutely horrendous. If the city is as serious as they say, they can quickly rehab 2 vacant buildings that also exist on Rikers Island. The city continues to say our city is safer and safer. If that is the case, why do we need to build more detention centers? Most of the individuals on Rikers Island 70% or so, is merely there because they are accused of committing a crime. They haven't even seen their judges or the court system yet. If we expand the court system to process their cases faster, the population on Rikers Island would dramatically drop. There is no need for new jails. And to spend billions of dollars on these unneeded new jails is an abuse and irresponsible from our city.
我们反对那个我们是那个反对修建，我们是支持修建，不好意思，在我为州议员工作的时候，我也有去拜访过这个 Rikers Island。那么我们感觉到，就是说，在70%的这一些被关押在那边的人，他们是还没有到上庭的，就是还没有被定罪和上庭。那如果我们把这些法庭的处理事情的过程更加简单化，加快他们的进程，我们其实就不需要在社区里面建立更加多的类似的
机构。
对，不需要在社区里面建立更加多的机构，就这样子。
The next question will be, what is your position on the College Point Boulevard shelter, as well as city's policy on building shelters around our Chinese communities? 您对 College Point Boulevard 庇护所的立场，以及纽约市关于在我们华人社区周围建立避难所的政策有什么样的看法？谢谢。Thank you.
I am against the proposed Flushing homeless shelter. In fact, I was a vice president of Flushing United, which was created to fight the shelter. I am also against building any new shelters or the continuation of using hotels to house the homeless. That is not real housing. That's called warehousing. Many people don't know a majority of homeless are women, children, and domestic violence victims with not much of any underlying health issues. Hotels cost the city and taxpayers about $200 a night. That's $6,000 a month. The better option is to issue housing vouchers so that families can choose where they want to live. We need to utilize the saving to retrofit existing shelters to have mental health and workforce services. Relieving the shelter system of a majority of the homeless, the city will have enough space to those that really need it. For those that are currently living in the subway, on the street, we do not need new shelters.
我是法商社大联盟的副主席之前，那法联我们是反对在社区里面建立任何的游民所。那所有的游民所呢的很多时候，他们是有一些妇女啊、孩子啊，那他们是不需要用这样大规模的去建立游民所的方式来解决现阶段我们在 College Point Boulevard 的这个游民所的这个
方案。
对，我们不需要在这个就是我们华人的那个 community 里面建立这样的游民所的方式。所以呢，我们是可以用房屋代金券的方式去来决定，就是我们可以建立有更多的用其他的方式来解决现阶段所谓庇护所的这个问题。
Thank you. And the next question will be, what is your plan to improve downtown Flushing's traffic? 你想用什么样的办法来改善法拉盛市中心的交通？谢谢。Thank you.
First, we have to change the 24-hour busway to a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. busway. I believe the 24/7 busway is the only busway in the city that is 24/7. I do not even know if Times Square has a 24/7 busway. We also need to move, I propose moving all the buses layover and stations away from downtown Flushing. Right now, downtown Flushing is like parking lot for these buses. If anybody really live here or shop here, they know that most of the traffic is caused by a bus making a turn. When you have a bus making a turn, you actually literally stop traffic on all 4 directions until the bus is able to fully turn into that street. I believe by relieving those buses of laying over, that would help traffic a lot. And just simplify the traffic would be a good starter.
我支持，就是说24小时的那个。
反对，
我们反对24小时的那个 busway， 从凌晨7点到晚上7点的时间。我们现在的现状就是，我们法拉盛的所有的公交车就是聚集在一个地方，那所有的人是根本没有办法很方便的来法拉盛消费和工作，甚至拜访所有的居民。那现阶段我们的情况就是，我们希望我们可以通过把这些 bus 转移到其他的一些地方，这样子的话，我们可以把这里的交通更加简单化。
Thank you. The next question will be, do you support High Heat Calendar Act of 1971, which specifies the use of SHSAT as the sole criteria for determining admissions to New York City's 8 specialized high schools? 您是否支持1971年的 High Heat Calendar 法？该法规定 SHSAT 是纽约市8所专业高中录取的唯一标准。谢谢。Thank you.
As an original supporter of keeping and protecting the SHSAT, I most definitely am in full support of keeping Heck Calendar Act.
我支持该法案。
Thank you. The next question will be, do you support good cause eviction bill? 你是否支持有正当理由驱赶议案？谢谢。Thank you.
I am against the current good cause eviction bill as it restricts rent to rise no more than 3%. While that might work for homeowners upstate in Syracuse and Albany, that bill will bankrupt homeowners in New York City, as the city can raise property taxes by 20% over a 3-year period. Instead, I propose we first cap property tax rise in New York City to 2%, just like the rest of the state. Let's start there.
我不支持。
Thank you. The next question will be, should small property owners be allowed to perform criminal background checks on potential renters? 是否应该允许小业主对房客申请人进行犯罪背景调查？谢谢。Thank you.
Yes, with limitation. Only for those that have committed felony, assault, and violent criminal records, sexual assaults included. I do not believe we should discriminate tenants merely based on financial crime, but for a heavy crime like assaults, I think it would help homeowners better to assess who they rent their apartment or their unit to.
我允许小业主对房客申请人进行犯罪背景调查，但是会有一些的有限的 limit。
Thank you. Next, we will go into the audience questions so far. And can I ask whether there is any media here, like Qingdao, World Journal, 侨报, 大纪元, East Central? Do we have any media friends over here, please?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, candidate. This is Yichen, the reporter for the Epoch Times Chinese language edition. I just have a couple of questions. The first is very simple. So my first question is, what's your advantage?
You are on
What's
mute,
up?
Yichen. Yichen, you are on mute, I think accidentally. We cannot hear you right now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you right now. Yeah.
Hello, candidate, and thank you for having me today. So I'm Yichen Lin, the reporter for the Epoch Times Chinese language edition. I just have a couple of questions for the candidate. So my first one is, what's your advantage to win the primary election? So
I wouldn't call it any advantage. I believe some of the policies in the state as well as in the city, as well as those that my opponent believe in, is not what my district, Flushing and Murray Hill wants. I have spoken to many leaders, voters, residents, and they all want our community to be safe. They don't want the homeless shelter. They want traffic, okay, to be dealt with once and for all. And based on that, I've been getting very good feedback. And I will continue to work hard to reach to every voter, to support me, to support the community, and to go out to vote.
Okay, all right then, perfect， 没问题了。那感谢各位，今天最后一场，而且是唯一一场可以准时完成的。Okay, good candidate, I guess. You finish all the questions on time. Okay, nice job. And your interpreter helped out a lot as well. 各位，这个是最后一场。虽然实际上我们每一个选区都有一场选举，那感谢你们来看。除了投票以外，实际上我们可以有其他方面可以帮到我们自己的。实际上我们不是帮候选人赢，实际上是我们帮我们赢。所以除了投票以外，请大家记得可以帮忙做义工。候选人Kenneth Chiu， 你有你的网站吗？
有。
All right， 那好 ，so please publicize your website。另外呢，就是也可以捐献，不一定是今天的这个候选人，可以是你们自己选区的候选人。但是你见到你喜欢哪个的，你实际上可以，虽然不在你的选区里面，但是你也可以捐献。记得这场选举，每一场的选举，实际上不是为了候选人，实际上是为了我们自己。OK，good night， 晚安。
Thank you, especially Ms. Zhao. Thank you, 谢谢。